자, 김미진 간사라고 하는 사람이 사람들을 어떻게 미혹하는지 좀 살펴보시길
네.
바랍니다.
돈 얘기 지금 제가 할
자,
거거든요.
돈 얘기를 할 거라고
요거
하면서 비밀이라고 합니다.
다시
근데
말하면
마가복음
이
4장을
돈 얘기에
비밀이라고
대해서
하는
성경
겁니다.
전체에서
돈 얘기가 숨어
말씀하시는 거
있다라는
여러분이
거예요.
계시로 받아버리면요. 여러분이 바뀌어버린다니까요.
자, 이거
첫째
계시로 받아야
바뀌는
된다.
것은 여러분의 재정 형태가 바뀐다니까요. 근데 듣기는 듣는데 어떻게? 도저히 너희들이 못
예수님께서 이
알아듣는다.
말씀을 하신
마가복음
이유가
4장에서 얘기했어요.
돈
하늘나라
얘기를 비밀로
내가
숨기셨다라는
너희에게
겁니다.
주었으나 너희들이 듣기는 들어도 절대로 못 듣는다. 또 이렇게 말해요. 너희들이 지금 보고 있는데 봐도 너희들이 못 본다. 또 이렇게
완전히
말해요.
탐욕적인 강으로
너희들이
사람들을
절대
미혹하는 겁니다.
깨달아지지 않는다 말하는 거. 그래놓고 하나님 예수님 이렇게 말해요. 왜냐하면 요거 하나님 나라 비밀이거든. 이렇게 말해요.
이게 돈 얘기를
비밀이기
숨긴
때문에.
것이 아니고 부자가 되는 방법을 숨기는 것이
여러분
아닌데
지금 제가 뭔
완전히
얘기합니까?
탐욕적인
비밀
가르침으로
얘기하는
하나님의
거예요,
말씀을
비밀.
바꿔버리는 겁니다.
다 얘기하는데도 이 중에 깨닫는 사람 있고 못 깨닫는 사람 있다는 거예요. 그 참 너무 안타까운 얘기야. 이 중에 깨닫는 사람, 못 깨닫는 사람을 쫙 나눠준다는 거예요. 듣기는 들어요. 성경이 그렇게 말합니다. 마가복음 4장에 너희들이 듣기는 들을 거다. 근데 안 깨달아질 거다. 여러분 어떻게 하실래요? 안 깨달아지고 싶으세요? 깨달아지고 싶으세요? 성령의 도움을 받으셔야 돼요. 성령 하나님, 그분은 우리에게 계시의 영을 주시는 분이에요. 우리를 가르치시는 영이세요. 그래 여러분이 3일 동안 집회일 동안 계속 주님 앞에 갈급함으로 나가면서 성령 하나님 저를 불쌍히 여겨주십시오. 제가 주님의 말씀을 깨닫게 원합니다. 깨닫게 원합니다. 깨닫게 해주세요.
거짓
가르쳐주세요.
교사들이
이런
어떻게 미혹하는지
갈급함으로
여러분들이
나가야
잘
돼요.
봐야 됩니다.
아니면 어떠냐면 안 깨달아져요.
자, 이는 예수전도단 출신의 김미진 간사라고 하는 거짓 선생의 허탄한 강론입니다. 그러나 김미진 간사라고 하는 자가 인용하는 주의 말씀이 마가복음 4장 말씀, 그 비유는 돈 얘기를 하는 것도 아니고 깨달으면 재정 형태가 바뀐다는 교훈을 주는 것도 아닙니다. 그런 비밀이 숨겨있는 것도 아닙니다. 이 같은 허황된 성경 해석으로 교인들을 미혹하는 저런 대담함은 어디로부터 나오는 것입니까? 이 같은 강론으로 사람들이 탐욕을 자극하며 미혹을 받게 하는 거짓 선생은 하나님의 준엄하신 심판날 이에 대하여 반드시 책임을 묻게 될 것입니다. 이 사람이 계시의 영을 받으라고 계속해서 충동질하는 것은 돈 벌기 위한 자기 마음에서 난 거짓 계시를 말하는 것이고, 계속해서 깨달아야 된다고 충동질하는 것은 마가복음 4장을 오늘날 불을 축적하기 위한 설명서와 같이 변질시켜 이해해야 한다는 말입니다. 이 같은 가르침을 듣고도 예수 그리스도의 음성인지 아니면 마귀적인 음성인지 분별하지 못하는 자가 있으면 그는 주님의 음성을 듣는 자들이 아니며 예수 그리스도와는 전혀 상관없는 사람들입니다. 그 이유는 그들은 예수님의 성품과 하신 일과 약속을 전혀 모르기 때문입니다. 그러나 성령의 감동으로 기록된 성경은 오늘날 그의 성도들에게 이와 같이 말씀하십니다. 부자 되기에 애쓰지 말고 네 사사로운 지혜를 버릴지어다. 부한 자는 자기의 낮아짐을 자랑할지니 이는 그가 풀의 꽃과 같이 지나감이라. 너는 이것을 알라. 말세에 고통하는 때가 이르러 사람들이 자기를 사랑하며 돈을 사랑하며, 예수께서 둘러보시고 제자들에게 이르시되 재물이 있는 자는 하나님의 나라에 들어가기가 심히 어렵도다. 돈을 사랑하며 일만하게 뿌리가 되나니 이것을 탐내는 자들은 미혹을 받아. 이것을 탐내는 자들은 미혹을 받아. 이것을 탐내는 자들은 미혹을 받아. 믿음에서 떠나 많은 근심으로써 자기를 찔렀도다. 돈을 사랑하지 말고 있는 바를 족한 줄로 알라. 그가 친히 말씀하시기를 내가 결코 너희를 버리지 아니하고 너희를 떠나지 아니하리라 하셨느니라. 너는 이것을 알라. 말세에 고통하는 때가 이르러 사람들이 자기를 사랑하며 돈을 사랑하며 자기를 사랑하는 자들이 돈을 사랑하게 되며 그런 자들이 이런 거짓 교사들의 미혹에 쉽게 빠져들게 됩니다. 예수께서 둘러보시고 제자들에게 이르시되 재물이 있는 자는 하나님의 나라에 들어가기가 심히 어렵도다. 자, 규장 출판사라 하는 곳은 어째서 김미진 간사라 하는 거짓 선생의 책 외에도 많은 불건전한 사상을 가진 자들의 책을 오늘날까지 판매하고 있습니까? 마가복음 4장의 비유는 돈을 많이 벌게 해주기 위한 하나님의 계시도 숨겨진 비밀도 아닙니다. 같은 성경을 보고도 어그러지는 말로 해석하는 무식한 거짓 선생들과 그것에 미혹되는 동료들을 주의하십시오. 화 있을진저 이 사람들이여 가인의 길에 행하였으며 삭스를 위하여 발람의 어그러진 길로 몰려갔으며 고라의 폐역을 따라 멸망을 받았도다. 박한수 목사라는 거짓 선생이나 홍성근 목사라 하는 자나 왜 김미진 간사라고 하는 사람을 한국교회에 계속해서 소개하는 것입니까? 왜냐하면 그들이 사상이 같기 때문이고 그들이 탐욕에 젖은 사람들이기 때문이고 그들이 거짓 계시와 거짓 선지자들의 말들에 길들여졌기 때문입니다. 그래서 그들은 쉽게 미혹을 받고 허탄한 마귀적인 가르침으로 사람들을 미혹하는 것입니다.
On a 2-hour Dateline Sunday, he claims he can cure the sick. Hallelujah. Critics say the only miracle may be the millions he's making.
It's time to begin telling the truth.
Pastor Benny Hinn. Calling down miracles and raising millions, he says, for God's work. But what happens to people who believed they were healed? And what happens to some of those donations? Ministry documents and inside sources tell us about shopping sprees, private jets, and luxurious living. And what does Pastor Benny Hinn say?
Why will you not audit and publicly release your finances?
Though Hinn refuses to make his financial information public, he has said that every dollar given to his ministry goes to the work of the Lord. Be that as it may, Benny Hinn does manage to live very well. His home is this mansion overlooking the Pacific Ocean, built and paid for by his ministry. According to building records, it has 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and more than 7,000 square feet of living space. The ministry told us the mansion was its parsonage and a good investment. According to area realtors today, it's worth about $10 million. And when Hinn goes to crusades around the world, he travels in this private jet. According to documents we obtained, the ministry pays more than $112,000 a month to use the plane. And closer to home, Pastor Benny still travels in style. This photo obtained by Dateline shows him getting out of a Mercedes SUV, and here he is driving a Mercedes convertible. Both cars retail for about $80,000. We've received new information from deep inside the Hinn organization, and others have come forward to tell us that we only scratched the surface when it comes to Benny Hinn, his money, and his miracles. Listen to what this former Hinn insider says.
There was never one complete record that would suit the criteria for a documented miracle healing, and that troubled me deeply. To me, this was a fraud and deception being put across the people that are his donors.
And something else came our way since our first report. Hundreds of pages of ministry expense documents. A look at these documents shows that while he's on ministry business, Hinn stays in luxury hotel rooms. At this crusade in Milwaukee, the documents indicate Benny Hinn occupied the presidential suite of the Pfister Hotel. The hotel told us the room cost $990 a night. At a crusade in Panama, the documents show, and we verified with the Intercontinental Hotel, that Hinn was in the Royal Suite. The published rate, $1,700 a night. At a crusade in Montreal, we verified Pastor Benny was ensconced in the Royal Suite of the St. James Hotel. The regular rate there, $2,700 a night. The room is as big as an average house, 2,200 square feet, including a makeup room, dressing room, and a piano that plays by itself. And we found some other trips that seem to have little to do with spreading the word of God. This member of Hinn's security team, who we'll call Steve, and whose appearance and voice we've disguised, says he traveled with Pastor Benny and personally escorted him on shopping excursions. According to Steve and other ministry sources, Hinn is a regular at Beverly Hills clothing stores like Versace, Louis Vuitton, and Bijan, where Hinn's name is on the window along with princes and heads of state. But there are questions raised by some of the purchases we found in those expense documents. For example, in just over 4 weeks in 2003, we found 6 separate charges at high-end clothing stores, totaling more than $6,000, all charged on the ministry's corporate card. The ministry told us that every single trip made by Pastor Benny is approved by his executive board. But we were intrigued by what appear to be stops made by Pastor Benny at resorts and spas around the world, on his way to and from crusades. The ministry called these stops layovers. Now, for most of us travelers, a layover means long hours waiting for a connection in an unfamiliar airport, maybe an overnight stay at a low-rent hotel. But remember, Pastor Benny travels in the ministry's private jet and sets his own schedule. So consider Benny Hinn's version of a layover. On his way home to California from this crusade in Colombia, the documents show, and the hotel confirmed for us, Pastor Benny stopped at this resort in Cancun, Mexico. He stayed in the presidential suite there that cost the ministry $2,684 for one night. The trip was described as a layover.
Right now.
After crusades in Russia and Sweden in July of 2003, Pastor Benny apparently didn't get on his private jet fly west and go home. Instead, he flew from Sweden south to Italy, then back north to England, with an entourage that included his son, his daughter, and her fiancé. There were expensive meals, like this one for more than $900 in Italy, and one at this Lebanese restaurant in London for more than $1,700. And check out these hotel bills. In Italy, transportation charges of more than $6,000. In London, another $6,000 for incidentals, such as chauffeur services and in-room tea. The documents also list tips. In 3 days, more than $4,500 worth, including $1,000 to a concierge and another $1,000 to a desk manager. And then there were Pastor Benny's hotel rooms. In London, the documents show, Hinn stayed at the exclusive Lanesborough Hotel. The hotel confirmed for us it was Suite 210 and told us that they never discount rooms. The going rate, the hotel says, more than $3,000 a night. And then there was Pastor Benny's hotel room in Milan. According to the expense documents, room 1001. The hotel confirmed it's the presidential suite. The hotel website says the room is fit for a prince and the largest hotel suite in Europe. Among its 5,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, a formal dining room, a fireplace, a jacuzzi, a sauna, a Turkish bath, a large terrace with a panoramic view of the city, and a 100-foot-long swimming pool decorated with marble and frescoes. The hotel told us this room rents for more than $10,000 a night. No discounts. In its email to us, the ministry said that Hinn uses a private jet for security reasons, and that it's often necessary to make layovers to refuel his plane, and for the pilots to rest. Not surprisingly, Hinn critic Ole Anthony has a different view.
It's just a lifestyle. He believes he deserves it. His board of directors says it's okay. So what are you going to do?
And when they rationalize it by saying, after all, he's the head of a $100 million a year organization.
It has nothing to do with it. You're called to be a servant, a bondservant of Christ, not to live like a king.
According to the documents we obtained and ministry insiders, there is also a great deal of cash going out. According to these receipts in 2003, much of it apparently went to Benny Hinn and his family members. This petty cash chit, $1,300 to Hinn's daughter Jessica, no reason given. And this one, $2,550 to her fiancé for watching Joshua, Pastor Benny's son. According to the expense documents, in just over a month in 2003, more than $23,000 of ministry cash was dispensed to Pastor Benny and his wife, who's also a ministry employee. And we found this record showing $25,000 in cash dispersed to accompany Pastor Benny and for a crusade in Anaheim, California, just 30 miles from his house.
It's not just Pastor Benny, it's all of these big ministries. They start believing that they are special, and all of that ministry money is their piggy bank.
This is how Pastor Benny explained it to his followers when he declined to speak to us for our first report.
You may have a question, by the way, on why I did not go on that program. Very simple. The Lord said don't.
So we approached Pastor Benny after a crusade in Toronto, and we recorded the encounter with a hidden camera.
Why will you not audit and publicly release your finances? Well, we've talked about this before, and you have not gladly sat. Sir, I've been asking you for an interview for 3 years.
And I'm still waiting. And through it all, Pastor Benny maintains that he has truth and God
Come, give me a close
on his
shot,
side.
will you? And look at these eyes. I have never lied to you. Never. I never will. I'd rather die than lie to God's people.
And what would Christian watchdog Ole Anthony like to say to Pastor Benny?
Your ministry is based on lies, and it's time to begin telling the truth, because you're going to have to meet your Maker soon.